I don't know, because then you watch New York, they're not big drinkers. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I don't know. I think New York, this new cast of New York doesn't work is because there's no chemistry between any of them.
Okay, but who do you like though? And so you would never bring Leah back. Would you bring like an Ebony back in the new group, or do you bring the old school girls back, the old school ladies back into the show? What do you do?
Ebony was an alumni of Become a Host. I
I don't think Ebony did that bad season 13. I think season
no,
13 was a challenging season. I think
totally.
one thing that she's always done, she's worked in the journalist space. I remember she went to go do something with Revolt Network with a podcaster, Joe Budden, who's a former rapper, very successful.
I
One thing
know
about
Joe.
Ebony, she always goes and marches to the beat of her own drum. So I think it was a huge. I understand that they had to revamp, but I think as they revamped and they're finding out that their season two, isn't working, let Ebony come in as that voice of reason. I could not believe that more. I think she is wonderful, and I think what we got was just a very interesting time, and there was a lot of like pointing the finger at her because she was so, saying this, saying that otherwise. But I don't think it was that. I think it was a really difficult season. The season was failing regardless. Wasn't Ebony's fault. Yeah.
Right.
And
Well,
now
I think
I think she just gave birth, so she's like motherhood, like that's a new journey. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of Ebony because she's a Become a Host alumni.
Okay.
So I'm a big fan. Love her. I think Ebony came at just it was timing and it wasn't the
Hmm.
right time because of the whole just everything. And she sort of had to be like the voice of like, you know,
Yeah.
and I think that was tough and to navigate. And when you have people like Ramona and Sonia that are sort of so tone deaf to all of that, which is
Hmm.
also what makes them such train wrecks to watch, right? So it's that double-edged
Yeah.
sword, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's such a double-edged sword, but I think
Well, maybe
what's
that's what the new cast doesn't have. They don't have
they
their train wreck. They don't.
they
Ramona,
don't
for
have.
what she was, she gave season after season after season of
Yep,
that train wreck. And if the
right.
new cast doesn't have that, maybe that's a little bit of the problem. Not supporting a lot of Ramona, but you get what I'm saying.
100%. I think they're all too aware of themselves.
Hmm.
And so when we're watching as an audience, we're just like, oh my God, you're editing yourself. You're so aware of yourself.
For more randomness, hit the Patreon at patreon.com/randomlyronnie Jr.
Randomly Ronnie Jr.